Belarus is a country where one of the most incredible events in history took place. Today, many people in a village called Boloqui in the north of the country remember this incident as if it were yesterday. In fact, in this part of the world, most of the people are ranchers and farmers. Some years ago, a man named Dmitry Morozov had gone to gather herbs in the bush for his horses, sheep, and cows. On his way back in the evening, he spotted an animal lying on the ground in the distance. Naturally, he was very surprised, so he wanted to see what it was and approached it very cautiously, immediately realizing that it was a wolf. He got down from the wagon and took a stick with him in case the beast attacked. You see, wolves are not well regarded by the people in that place. They're considered invaders and food thieves. The villagers would not think twice about annihilating a wolf to protect their own. Then, when Dmitry was next to the animal, he realized that it was wounded. Perhaps a hunter had shot him. He had a large wound. Everything suggests that he was able to dodge it and ran for his life. However, the shot affected him a lot. He had bled too much, so he probably did not resist. Dmitry began to touch him with his stick, and yes, he did not respond. He was lifeless. Many things went through this man's mind, and one of them was to take the wolf to his house to remove its skin to have it for the winter. So with all his strength, he lifted the wolf and put it in his wagon. Luckily, it was close to his house. When he arrived, his beautiful daughter, only 10 years old, greeted him and realized what her father had attracted. "Daddy, is that a wolf?" "Yes, daughter, it is." "Poor thing, it died because of a hunter. I'll take it to the yard and leave it there while I call some friends to see what I found." Dmitry then took the wolf to the backyard of his house. His wife was inside preparing dinner, of course. She didn't know there was an unexpected guest. Dmitry said to his daughter, "I'll be right back. Be good." Then the man walked out of the house, and after a few seconds, he heard some very loud screams. They were of desperation. "Daddy, Daddy," he could hear. Dmitry turned around and immediately ran to his house. When he got to the door, he noticed that the wolf was not there. Soon, he saw his daughter saying, "Daddy, you have to come." The wolf came into the living room and fell down. "He's still breathing." Dmitry could not believe it, so he went over and saw his wife and daughter next to the wolf. This one was breathing. "It can't be. I checked him. He was lifeless." The wife couldn't believe it and asked Dmitry to take the animal away as soon as possible. However, when she heard that, the girl protested. No, Daddy, don't take him away. You have to help him. He may die." The woman told him, "No, daughter, he is a dangerous animal. Take him away, Dmitry." Nevertheless, the girl started crying and the man felt sorry for her. He was confused and didn't know what to do. And the truth is that Dmitry was also sad to see the wolf like that. It was one thing for an animal to be dead and another for it to be alive and wounded. "Listen, Anastasia," said the man to his wife, "I'll take him behind the house and put a fence around the animal. I'm only going to help him until he recovers, and when he's better, I'll set him free." The woman listened to his words and went renegade to the kitchen. The girl and her father stayed to shelter the wolf, where they discovered that it was in fact a she-wolf. Dmitry said to his daughter, "Alexia, we must keep this secret. You must not tell anyone in the village that there is a she-wolf in the house. If we are found out, we could be in trouble." "Yes, Daddy, I promise not to say anything," said the little girl. For the next few days, the she-wolf did not seem to get any better. The man gave her food, but nothing. The little girl was very sad. Dmitry told her, "If she heals in good time, and if not, you don't have to feel guilty. At least we tried." She just nodded and stayed by the she-wolf's side. In fact, every time she came home from school all afternoon, she spent her time with the animal and even cleaned its wounds. A week later, unbelievably, the she-wolf began to eat. She could hardly stand properly, but she looked better than before. The girl and her father were very happy, but at the same time sad because it meant that they had to let her out soon. After 3 weeks, the she-wolf could already move, but she was limping. It seemed that she wanted to limp. She was going to stay with her for the rest of her life. However, this was better than dying alone in the forest. Dmitry and his daughter were happy, but the wife said, "I see that she's recovered. I hope that now she can return to the forest." The man told her not to worry. Dmitry had a conversation with his daughter and said, "We're going to let her go free next week, okay? It's too dangerous to keep her." Alexia nodded, but she was very sad. And after a week, Dmitry went to where the she-wolf was, and together with his daughter, they took her to the forest. In tears, the girl said goodbye, and when they arrived at the house, after a few hours, the she-wolf appeared again. It was as if she didn't want to leave. Somehow, she managed to get into the yard. The woman, when she was feeding the chickens, gave a terrifying cry. "Dmitry, the she-wolf!" The man looked at her and couldn't believe it. "Listen, Anastasia, I just left her in the forest. I didn't expect her to come back." Luckily, the she-wolf didn't seem aggressive at all and somehow won everyone's heart. So Dmitry decided to keep her for the whole winter, and when this season passes, he would take her to a distant mountain to make her life. However, the family noticed that the she-wolf was getting bigger and bigger. This was very unexpected. There was no doubt. She was expecting puppies. Alexia was very happy, but her parents were worried. They did not expect this news at all. Some time had passed, and she finally had her puppies. Dmitry was worried. What if someone sees them? In all that time, they always took care to hide the animal. But now with puppies that will become big, yes, it would be different. Although, on the other hand, little Alexia spent all her free time with the little ones. Best of all, the she-wolf did nothing to attack her. She just wanted to play and take care of them. Also, Alexia was very careful. Any noise from the neighboring house, she immediately covered the wolves with a blanket so that no one would see them. Sometime later, the little wolves began to howl, and that attracted a lot of attention. Soon the family's secret was discovered. A neighbor went to visit them one day, and when she found out they had wolves, she spread the gossip everywhere. The whole town knew about it. The villagers disagreed, and the mayor forced Dmitry to eliminate the wolves. The girl cried a lot, and the saddened parents had no other choice, so there was no other way. Luckily, the she-wolf had fully recovered and was able to feed and care for her cubs in the wild. In one night, Dmitry released his beloved pets. Little Alexia cried goodbye. The she-wolf seemed to understand what was happening and began to lick the younger girl's hands. They were definitely going home. The man then took them to the forest to a distant mountain. Once there, Dmitry said goodbye to them and also cried. Fortunately, there was no one to see him. He cried like a child. He had become so used to them. Finally, he returned home, and this time the she-wolf did not follow him anymore. After this incident, many neighbors stopped talking to the man. They were angry with him because he should not have let them go free. He should have ended their lives. They said that now these wolves will attack more often and kill all the cattle in the village because they're no longer afraid of the man, and they know the territory very well. No one's going to stop them now. Little Alexia said with that childish innocence, she told them all that her wolves would not be capable of this. The little girl promised them that this would never happen. When a meeting was held among the villagers, the adults laughed at her but still did not speak to the family. But this changed over the years, and people, especially the elderly, still can't forget that event. You see, for some reason, the wolf attacks in the village after that event really stopped completely. Never again did any of the neighbors complain since that time. The livestock never disappeared again, and the villagers lived quietly and happily. But the strangest thing of all is that several attacks have been reported in other nearby towns. For many, this undoubtedly explained by the help that Dmitry's family gave to their she-wolf. But here, there's someone who stands out more, little Alexia. If it had not been for her insistence and her innocent thinking, perhaps the fate would have been different. Today, many remember Dmitry and his family for such a noble gesture. This story shows us that animals are intelligent and above all, extraordinary beings. A little attention, love, and affection is better than treating them badly or scaring them away. They'll always thank you in some way. I hope this video has helped you. If so, don't hesitate to give us a thumbs up, comment, and share.